I got a lot of questions for you. First, I want to give a little backstory on you. You're a professional gambler, famous for exposing casinos for cheating. That I got a lot of questions about because I just got back from Vegas and I lost, so I think they cheated me.
Well,
Most
you might
likely.
have just lost, but they could have cheated too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I do have bad luck sometimes. So it says here that your net worth, professional gambler who made over $47 million in his lifetime as of 2023. So I'm guessing now you are back to zero, or are you anywhere around that? Is that actually your net worth from just gambling?
No, not from just gambling. I don't know what site you're looking at. I
just Google. I just Google his net worth, and it said you had 43 or 47 million you made in your lifetime, but you have a net worth of 12 million. And I know how these things are because they say I have $4 million, which I don't have, you know, but.
How much do you have?
I'm not counting. I'm not
Probably one.
counting other people's money. Let's get back to you because 12 million net worth from.
Well, I'll tell you this: my biggest single session win was $11,526,000, and that's just one win. It happened to be my one biggest, but when I'm doing that, it's hard to say I have a $12 million net worth when one single session
it just
brought that in.
Yeah,
you know?
it either doubles it or wipes it out. Or
Well, in theory, but I made $1 million a week in net profit gambling for like kind of a long time, but it averaged out because I didn't gamble every week. But we just like ran the math back. And we're like, for this length of time, it was this many X millions of dollars. For this length of time, it's equals to $1 million a week.
Well, this is a question that I hate asking people on podcasts, but I have to for you because this is a very rare case.
Okay.
How did it all start? Because you can't just go in there like you don't seem like you came from money. You seem like you are self-made.
Well, so just for clarity, I was born into a family that had money. My family lost everything though. So like when I was a child, I was more than comfortable, right? As like a young child.
Yeah.
But like pretty early on, I don't know, something like when I was about, I want to say 11 or 12 years old is when my family lost everything. And there became no more like safety net, security, aspirations of a trust fund and things like that.
Yeah, around 12, huh?
Around 12.
And how old are you now?
32.
Okay.
I went to juvenile prison when I was 15. I came out exactly
For what?
drugs and violence.
And this was, you grew up in...
I grew up in New Jersey. I moved to New York pretty young. And then I lived in Miami for 8 years and now LA and Vegas.
Bro, we got a similar story.
Yeah.
I'm from Staten Island, which is basically Jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
Moved to Miami for a few years and then eventually made it out here. So you were living in Vegas when you were cracking all the casinos and stuff like that, and then you just got out of there because...
So I moved from Miami to LA. And when I moved to LA, I was always a degenerate gambler my whole life. But Vegas is a 45-minute flight. Or a 3.5 hour nice drive through the mountains,
I love
windows
doing the
down.
drive.
Yeah. So, and then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, LA, you know, they would try to arrest you if you left your house and you weren't an essential worker. But Vegas was like, we never heard of COVID. We don't know who that is, you know?
Yeah, Vegas didn't care much. Out here, if you walked in a Starbucks without a mask on, you'd get shot dead on site.
Yeah. So I would go to Vegas once a week during COVID because like I'm new to the West Coast, don't know that many people, and I just want to experience life. I'm tired of being locked up in COVID. So I was going to Vegas once a week, started winning. And the short of it is they gave me residencies in all these secret villas and all the casinos. So although I always had my place in LA throughout the pandemic, I just lived in the villas. I had 24-hour butlers.
Suites.
They gave me a Maybach and a Rolls Royce. They gave me a private jet. Like, why would I not want to live in this villa?
What?
So in order for them to be giving you, like, because everybody knows about comps, like I get free hotel rooms, basic standard level, you know, like I gamble maybe with a few grand in blackjack every time I go. So that will cover a room. They know they're going to get their room money back. But to give you private jets, to give you these extreme, extravagant things, you have to be playing an insane amount of money at every single casino. So what is it? Do you just have balls of fucking steel that you just want to just roll the dice every single day? You just want to fucking just leave it all on the line?
I am a degenerate gambler and I love to gamble.
I love gambling too, but I also fear hitting rock bottom.
Something that a lot of people can't relate to is some of the rock bottoms I've had, but I know you can. So imagine where your rock bottom used to be, right? And now you go to a casino. The best thing that can happen is you make all this money. The worst thing that can happen is you're still better than you used to be.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Wait, no, the worst thing that could happen is you could lose all...
Yeah.
But let's say you lost all your money. You're still better nowadays with $0 than you were at some time in your life. And a lot of people can't relate to that.
I think It's the opposite though. Isn't
No, what do you
Vegas
mean?
like the suicide capital that they keep under wraps because everybody kills themselves every day? There's multiple
Yeah, that's
people
true.
jumping
Tons
off
of
balconies.
suicides. Yeah, tons of suicides that they don't talk about, and the media quiets up. They don't talk. Yeah, exactly. But those
So it could be worse.
Hold on, but those people can't relate to what it's like to be looking at a life sentence or looking at daily overdoses or all your friends dying and all these like severe and homelessness. Like these are like real consequences that if today you went to Vegas, made one bet for your whole $4 million net worth, whatever Google says, and you lost.
Fuck Google.
You're in a better position right now today with $0 than you were however many years ago you were going through that stuff. So for me, I'm like, the worst thing that can happen is I lose my money, but I'm still better off than I was for a large portion of my life.
So it's a mindset thing. Like money comes and goes. You could think about it as the most important thing in the world, or you could just think about it as, you know, something that
It doesn't define you.
Yeah, but it's when you're gambling, it's also, you're not gambling with money. It's only money when you're buying in and cashing out. Otherwise, it's units. So like if you
it's
go.
like a game.
Yeah, exactly. If you go and you bet one unit and that unit happens to be a black chip, which is worth $100, I go and I bet one unit that's a gray chip, which is worth 100,000. We both play the game by the same rules, and if we both win that hand, we both now have 2 units. But when you cash out, you have 200 and I have 200,000.
And I don't get the same the same buzz. I don't get that same feeling. The rush.